welcome back to the SimZone, ladies and gentlemen. And we're here for the second round of the PC GT3 Championship, Season 6. And we're at the infamous Watkins Glen, one of my favourite tracks, US tracks even, overall. And we are in a night qualifying session here, 8 PM here at Watkins Glen. And currently we've got Hooschii on provisional pole with a 143.332 and Norbert Tamas in the pits currently in P2, Sidor in the pits in P3. The only two in the 143s are Hooschii and Tamas, but Sidor not very far off at all, and I'm sure they're going to be looking to improve. Still time left in this qualifying session, but good to see everyone on the stream. Good to see everyone tuning in as well. Hooschii about to come across the line. He is up for an improvement ever so slight, and he's going to cross the line there. Oh, only improved by a couple thousandths, I think, and he's going to return the car to the pits. Tamas is on an outlap now, but we'll see. Who else is up for an improvement? Watkins in the McLaren is currently up on his time, just 3/10 up here. Oh, gets ever so close to that barrier, using all of the exits he can, using the full width of the track. You can see there. I think that is either Curtin or Van Hoorn just up in front, and they're just going to move out the way here. Watkins going to come across the line, 4/10 up. Where's going to place him? Up into P12. Goes Watkins, a good solid lap there, setting a 145.222. And further down the field we've got Donatas in the Lexus, who's just started a lap here, and he is 2/10 up. Let's quickly go on board with Donatas here as we come up towards the bus stop chicane. Donatas obviously in the mighty Lexus. I wouldn't say he's the strongest car around Watkins Glen. You can see just the car spitting flames, the reflection of the fire. But yeah, no, the best cars probably for this track are going to be the Audi and the Porsche. Even the Ferrari's not bad at Watkins Glen. Those three are pretty much towards the top end of the fastest cars here at Watkins Glen. In terms of BOP as well, they'll be the favourites for round 2 here, and Donatas using all of the exit curb there, and he's currently nearly a second up. This is going to put him into the lower 146s. Can he find any more time in these last few corners to try and get into the 45s even? He's just got this final corner to go as he rounds it off now. Early on the power there. Could have used a bit more of the exit curb, but he's going to cross the line, and he put it into P18, jumped up a huge amount of positions there, has Donatas, and I'm sure he's going to be happy with that lap. But we look back to Hooschii here, who's just started another lap, is currently a 10th up, still on a 143.3, and he is on his first hot lap after returning to return the car to the pits. The previous lap before. Looks like Tamas has invalidated his current lap. Cosford into... Oh, I think he's had an off there. No, he's returned the car to the pits. Lee here, McGee. Good to see him. Wasn't able to attend the first round, but he's here for the second. He has raced in one of our off-season events here, I think at Watkins Glen. It was last time he raced with us. So he's going to be very familiar with this track, and he's proving to be already, currently sitting in P6 there, not too far off. But let's have a quick look then at the standings as we go into this round. So we have Kaloksai leading the championship on 105 points, but I don't think he's here today. And we do have a drop round in this championship, so he should be okay. But Hooschii is currently present, and he's just 6 points behind in P2. Alessandro there in P3 on 94 points. Norbert Tamas on 90. Ivanov, who dropped down a couple of positions after a penalty he received last round, in P5 on 88 points. Vitvut in P6 on 84 points. Pizuk, who's not here either, in P7 on 81. Irfan in P8 on 78 points. Cosford in P9 on 75 points. And Nino Tobin running into the top 10 in the standings on 72 points. So there we have it. It's going to be quite close coming into round 2. We saw some great battles in round 1. I think my drive of the day would have been Ivanov. Just the sheer amount of moves he made, but unfortunately had to come together with Tamas, which knocked him down a few positions. Otherwise he would have been, I think, in the top 3, finishing on a podium. But yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye out for this time around. And let's see who else is up for an improvement. Vitvut here in P19 is 8 tenths up. We've got TFJ in the comments saying hello everyone. He's rooting for the Bentley once more. And yeah, it still is the only Bentley out on track, I believe. Here we go. Vitvut coming through the final corner now, 5 tenths up. Where's this going to put him? I don't think he's going to gain a position. Oh no, sorry. He is. Into the 144s he goes. And he puts it into P14. Just 1 minute left of this qualifying session. Bonenberger in P12. Not where you would expect him to be. Did win last season's championship. And a bit of a wiggle on the exit there. That's not going to help. With his run coming to the penultimate corner. And up towards the final corner now. It's 5 tenths up though. He could find himself into the top 5 as he crosses the line now. Where's it going to put him? There we go, top 5 exactly. P5 for Bonenberger, and he does have this last lap to improve once more. He's currently a 10th up out of turn 1. Looking down the field, no one else really up for an improvement. We've got a few new drivers. Gavin Scruton there in P19. And good to have Liam Bostock as well in for round 2. But we go to Alessandro here, who I believe is just recently started a lap. He's 2 tenths up. The timer of this qualifying session has hit 0, so anyone crossing the line now will have their qualifying session completed. But Alessandro was a few tenths up. He's lost it out the last corner there. And oh, he's run wide. That's his qualifying session over. Disaster for Alessandro. Corsell still on the lap. He's coming through the bus stop chicane now. He's got plenty of time to complete this, but he is a 10th up and only needs about a 10th to gain a position here. Could he find any more time on his lap? He's looking good so far. This could possibly see him into P5 if he can keep this together. Oh, I may have spoken a bit too soon there. He's lost a 10th on the previous corner. Oh, he's lost another there. Just a bit of a wiggle, I think, earlier on. Got a bit loose on the curb, but he's found the time back. Now the top 6 all with their qualifying session over. So Corsa 5 tenths up. This is going to be an amazing lap. He's going to put it into the 143s if he can keep this together. He's only got 2 more corners to go. Up towards the penultimate corner there, using all of the exit curb available. Now towards the final corner. Is he going to take P5 off of Bonenberger? We'll see. Exits the final corner. They're using all of the exit curb, and he's going to cross the line. I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh no, it is. Corsa there puts it into P4, and what a lap from Corsa. But that's it for your qualifying session. We'll be back very shortly for the race. Here we go then, onto the formation lap here for Watkins Glen. A 1 hour race where we see 33 cars fight it out for the win. But looking at the track temp, oh, that's very hot, 39 degrees here at Watkins Glen. And a 32 degrees ambient temp. It is pretty much exactly what the temperature was showing in the real world, and that's what we base our weather off of. So still very hot in the USA, even though it's pretty much winter for the UK, and I think most of Europe as well already. But we saw Hladky put it on pole in that qualifying session, even Ovly in second. He's going to be lining up on the front row with him, Tamas in third, and a Corsa just cutting it close, putting it on the second row there in P4. The only Bentley out on track. Looks like someone hasn't been able to get off the jacks in time on the starting grid. That was Ryan Gill, unfortunately, so he's going to be starting from the pit lane, and he's going to have to undo or do all that hard work he made up in qualifying all over again. And we've got Lager there in the comments, also known as Stuart, saying good luck Brownhill. You're lucky I'm not on PC to show you how to drive that BMW. Maybe one day, Stuart, but at the moment Brownhill currently in P14, the second highest BMW here on the grid. The first being King McGee in P9. So Balint in the comments saying, showing his support for Norbert Tamas in P3. Unfortunately had a bit of a coming together last time round at Imola, round 1, with Ivanov, who's currently P2 now. But let's hope they can keep it cleaner this time. Turn 1 at Watkins isn't easy at all. These drivers, I'm sure, are going to be sensible on the start. They're not going to want to wreck their race at all. We're lining up side by side now. And I think most of the drivers are going to have to change tyres here. With 39 degrees track temp, it's going to eat their tyres up within the first half an hour of this race. Fastluuk obviously with Team Shazoo, Ivanov there on the front row as well, with Lukoil Racing eSports. A lot of eSports drivers here on this grid. So we're going to see who's going to get the jump into turn 1. Can Ivanov hold it around the outside, or is Fastluuk going to get the better start? We're going to go green very shortly here. And there we go, we are green. Ivanov seems to have got a good start, but Fastluuk's holding the inside line there. And that's not, but Tamas almost making it 3 wide there into turn 1. I think he had a look, but he's going to have to settle back, and we're still side by side on the exit of turn 1. Fastluuk's going to hold that position, I think, and Ivanov's going to have to slot back in. They're going to have the slipstream now coming down towards the bus stop chicane. Look how close these top 3 are already, battling so hard, and I don't think they need to this early on. But here we go, up towards the bus stop. Fastluuk's going defensive. And that is Norbert Tamas. Oh, a bit of a collision there. This shouldn't have really made it 3 wide. That wasn't the cleverest thing to do. And Ivanov rejoining the track. There's a bit of a collision there. Ivanov's going to drop right down the order. That wasn't the most sensible rejoin for him. Let's see where he's gone. I think he's all the way towards the back is Ivanov. And I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted that at all. But making it 3 wide, Norbert Tamas. I think he put himself in the worst position there. He's dropped all the way down the order to last there in P33. Look at the amount of damage he's got on that Audi. But Fastluuk holds on. Luckily got away with that. I'm not sure how he kept the car together. We saw the Bentley of Corsa out of shape as well. But Sidor holding it in P2. Racing for Visceral Esports. Corsell right behind in the Bentley. Look at the battles we've got in the background. Gosford holding on to P4, but we've got King McGee. He's got a train of cars behind him here. Whitfoot's there in the Audi just behind. Tried to go for a move, but he's having to defend from the gaggle of cars behind him. Irfan. Oh, we've got a Porsche around. A bit of chaos in the background. The Porsche's in the middle of the track. That is... seems to be Alessandro who's lost the car, I think. Oh, it's a Honda, and yeah, a bit of chaos in the background there. We'll go back to the race leader. Fastluuk's opened up a massive gap. Let's actually bring the gaps up now. But yeah, a bit of chaos here at the start of this race in Watkins Glen. Fastluuk with a 1.6 second gap. Sidor holding on to P2. He's having a better race than he did last time around. Had a few incidents, did Sidor, but he's kept his nose clean so far. Corsell's dropping off ever so slightly now, but we've still got this huge battle for P5. with Whitfoot just behind in P6, and I think it's about a 6-car train here, or even 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's 6. I can't count very well. But McGee pulling away ever so slightly now to this group of cars behind Whitfoot. Losing a bit of time to McGee. Cosford is up ahead, so he's kept his nose clean as well. One of the Hondas there pulling out alongside of the Mercedes. That is Alman and Irfan going side by side. And it will quickly switch to them. Looks like Irfan's lost the position to Alman there, so down he goes into P8. It's a bit of a shame for Norbert Tamas, who's currently in the pits for some lengthy repairs. I think he put himself in that position. Now we've got Whitfoot and McGee going side by side up towards the bus stop, and I think the Audi driver is going to have that position done and dusted. McGee trying to fight back hard here. He has to be careful though. He doesn't want to open up the door to Giles there in the background, who's stuck to his rear bumper, completely glued there to the back of that BMW, and he looks to the outside now as McGee goes defensive, but not enough space to get the move done. And McGee seemed quite promising to hold on to that position earlier on. He was pulling away from this pack, but maybe may have made a mistake somewhere last lap, or even this current lap. And we saw Alaman there just sliding the rear end of the car out ever so slightly, but this is an amazing battle here that we've got going on. Irfan trying to look for a move. I think he's going to have to play the patient game here. The pit window does open up in 14 minutes, but there's still 2 behind. Nino Tobin there in P9, started in P12, so he's already gained 3 positions off the start. And Brownhill in the bright yellow BMW. He's got a perfect view of this battle with this pack battling. You can see in the background we've got that's Bourgeois in the Ferrari, then we've got Hisley in the Porsche and Bodenberger all catching up to this train. And this is definitely going to be probably one of the biggest battles we've had so far this season. It's only round 2, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got plenty more action to show, but we'll go back to the battle for P2 here. Sidor and Corsell now within a second of each other. Corsell seems to be closing in the gap. That last time around, Sidor did a 156 flat, and for Corsell that was a 155.5, so maybe a mistake for Sidor. But Hladky is pulling away, and we've had a bit of an incident there. I think Carl Van Hoorn has lost the car in the bus stop chicane, I think all by his own means. Didn't seem to have come into contact with anyone, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he hasn't come into contact with anyone, so he's lost it on his own. Looking at Scruton there in P20, he's battling with the McLaren of Belez there. These two have been pretty close since the start. Scruton just signing up today, I believe, to the championship. They're going to be side by side. They're a bit wide for the McLaren driver, and Scruton's going to have the inside for the next corner, but has he got the exit he needs? You can see there he's not alongside enough. He's going to have to be later on the brakes here, and Belez has left him the room, and still side by side. Now the McLaren's going to have the inside for this long left-hander, but no, hasn't been able to keep that position, and a huge mistake there from Scruton. Got loose on the exit and unfortunately collected the McLaren of Belez. He's going to be so upset with that. They both are, and how unfortunate is that? He's going to return the car to the pits. Looks like we've got Cameron Parr in the pits as well, and Norbert Tamas still stuck there in the pits. Doesn't look like he's going to be continuing. Krautz has had a game crash here, so he Unfortunately, isn't with us now. Let's have a quick read of the comments. Balancing was even of thinking. I think I'm not sure if that was the rejoin was his fault, but yeah, going 3 wide to the bus stop turn 1, lap 1 from those 3 drivers wasn't the smartest thing. But Sidor still holding on, maintaining that 0.6 second gap to Corsa just behind. So these two are definitely ones to keep an eye out for. But we will switch to that huge battle we had earlier on. Looks like Irfan's got past Aleman again. These two have been battling it out since the start of the race. And looks like Irfan's got that position done and dusted there. Oh, look how close they are coming through the final corner. Unbelievable here from this pack of drivers. That seems to be Bourgeois looking for a move. But that's Brownhill up the inside of Nino Toppen, and a huge mistake there for the Honda driver. Irfan with a massive mistake. Looks like now that's allowed Brownhill to look for a move here on Aleman. This is going to end in tears if they can't calm it down a bit. But we're going to be 2 wide, 2 abreast here. Let's try not make it 3 wide. 2 rows there of 2 cars abreast, and it looks like Aleman has held on to that position. Brownhill slotting back in, and Nino Toppen there also holding on to P9. I think we're going to have to go on board here with Toppen. He's got a good view of what's going on in front. Aleman very wide there. He's going to have to hold that position. He's got the inside line though for the next corner. Brownhill, I think, may have to slot back in. He's not going to be able to go round the outside. He's got limited grip, and he's opened the door up now for Toppen, which isn't exactly what he wanted to do. Definitely not what he wanted. You can see here Toppen looking for a move. He's slightly opened up the gap to Bourgeois behind. We've got a battle in the background. That's Bourgeois and Bottenberger. Bottenberger trying to look for a move. They're looking for a dummy, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it into that penultimate corner. It's quite a fast corner, that second to last one. So I think if he wants to go for a dummy, he's going to have to do it into a heavy braking zone here. Turn 1 is ideal, but this group still battling out very, very hard. And in the background, while these 5 drivers are battling, we've got Irfan, after his mistake, catching back up, and behind him Curtin, Hisley and Viken, all very, very close. So we could see those 3, or all these 5 drivers onto this pack of 5. So maybe a 9-10 car battle going on for what will be P7. But we'll quickly switch to the race leader. Watkins got a 6-second lead over Sidor, and Sidor maintaining that gap once again to Corsa. Cosford 3.6 seconds back, so he hasn't really been able to reel them in. But that last lap, he was a few tenths quicker than Corsa, so he's catching them up. And back to this battle we go. See how close there Brownhill is to Aleman. Stuart saying cracking battle from 7th down to 12th. Oh, it's going to be more than that very shortly. But only 7 minutes till the pit window opens. Will any of these drivers be thinking of an early undercut here? It's definitely possible with how hard they're fighting and how much time they're losing to the drivers behind. And oh, Brownhill slightly wide there. He's going to have the slipstream now. Coming down towards the bus stop chicane. That's Tobin trying to look for a move. He's looking down the middle. No, he's going to try and follow Aleman through. But sensibly backed out of that. Look how close they get through the bus stop. This is usually where most of the accidents happen. Flash of the lights there from Brownhill. Maybe not happy with that move. But didn't seem like there was anything wrong there. And unbelievable driving from this group of drivers. Oh, there's been contact between the two, and Brownhill making contact with Aleman there. That's not going to be great. He's lost all those positions. I think maybe a bit of animosity between the two, and Aleman struggling to get it going. But Brownhill maybe getting a bit frustrated. They're just being stuck behind Aleman, not able to get through. But we'll have to leave that one to the stewards, and now you can see this pack has opened up ever so slightly. But we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled on them. We'll look at some battles further down the order. Ryan Gill there, who started in the pit lane, unfortunately didn't get going in time. Is now looking to gain P8 here on Barrett. Bonenberger into the pits. What's happened to him? He must have picked up some heavy damage somewhere out on track. But here we go, Gill with a better exit out of the final corner. Is he going to be able to get this done into T1? It looks like he is. Is he going to be late on the brakes? No, he's not. Barrett, they're trying to hold it around the outside, but too many marbles there, not enough grip to be able to hold that move. And Gill up into P18, and he's going to look to pull away with Alessandro there in P17, just 4 seconds up the road. There's definitely a possibility for him to be able to catch up. Now looking down towards P25, Bostock has got Clayton within a second of him here. Both these drivers carrying a bit of damage, if I'm not mistaken. Quite a bit of damage on the McLaren there of Bostock. But he seems to be maintaining that gap to Clayton. Still 1 second. Oh, he's hit the barriers there. Not what you want to be doing. And he's going to lose a lot of time coming down the straight towards the bus stop. Look how much time he's lost. Almost over a second there, just due to that little hit with the barrier before that straight. And Clayton now right onto the back of him. McLaren bouncing over the curbs. We know it's not a good car over the curbs. And as a result, Clayton's going to be putting on the pressure to him. But he's gone very deep on the brakes. He's going to be collecting the marbles. But surprisingly, he's held on to that position. And we'll keep an eye on this battle. Oh, Clayton very late on the brakes there. Almost tagging the back of Bostock. But they've held it together nicely. And we'll switch back to the battle with Tobin and Irfan here. Not Irfan. That is Ivanov, who I believe is a lap down due to his pit stop. I think he's pitted to repair damage. There are blue flags being waved there, but I think it's not for Nino in the Audi. It would have been for Ivanov, but he knows he's quicker. And I think Nino's best bet is to let him through, not really waste much of his own time. He can even follow Ivanov through to catch up to Brown here in front. He definitely doesn't want to be battling with Ivanov at all, does Tobin, because look how much time he's now losing to Irfan behind. don't think Tobin is playing this right. The backmarkers do have a right to unlap themselves, but Will Ivanov have to move out the way there for Irfan. And there we go, Aleman into the pits. What's happened to Aleman? Let's see. He has had a bit of a mistake there. He stopped the car, doesn't seem to have much damage. I'm not exactly sure what's happened. Hladkey's had a bit of an incident. And he's got a bit of damage on the front end. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does actually. He's got a bit of damage on the front end of the Audi of his. We did get a notification that there was a bit of an incident, but he's still got a 9-second gap to Corsa and P2. He's actually got past Sidor, so a comfortable lead for Hladkey. But we go down to the battle for P15 and Alessandro here. Oh, we've got a huge battle going on here. Another gaggle of cars. And that seems to be Osh and Bourgeois battling out for P13 and P14, the two Ferraris on track together. So Osh leading this train, followed by Bourgeois, then Alessandro, then Carl Van Hoorn, and then Ryan Gilday actually caught up to this pack, so he's working his way through the field. That last lap he did a 1:46, which was 2 seconds quicker than some of these drivers in this pack. You can tell how much time they're losing just by battling and rubbings racing there between Bourgeois and Alessandro. And Bourgeois holds onto that position, but look how much time he's lost just by defending to the drivers behind. Osh has already got a 2-second gap. We saw there Carl Van Hoorn going wide out to the penultimate corner. He's going to lose the position. Oh, Bourgeois into the pits. Timed that perfectly, I think. But Carl Van Hoorn has lost the position to Ryan Gill and is now down to P16. So Gill up into P15, making his way through the field. I think we're definitely going to have to switch to this battle. You can see Tobin on the right hand side of your screen there, still not letting Ivanov through. I mean, he doesn't have to, but he's losing time just by battling with someone he doesn't need to. But Carl Van Hoorn currently just at the tail end of this train. We'll go on board with him now. I know Nino still not letting Ivanov through. I think probably be time for Ivanov to pit, and yes he has. Into the pit he goes, and then Nino now into clean air. But watching this battle between Carl Van Hoorn, Ryan Gill and Alessandro there, being 14, 15 and 16. Carl Van Hoorn slightly dropping off now to these two in front. I don't think he has the pace at the moment to keep up. But he could definitely go for an undercut if he wants to. I think it would possibly be the right time to go for an undercut for Carl Van Hoorn. All these drivers running slightly wide on the exit of turn 1, but still within track limits. And now Ryan Gill is going to have that slipstream coming down towards the bus stop chicane. But he's not close enough to Alessandro there to get a move done just yet. We've got yellow flags out on track somewhere. Bostock has been the car through the chicane, and he's got to be careful here with when rejoining. He has pitted and he has repaired his damage, but a bit of a mistake there through the Bostock chicane. It's so easy to do. We've seen it happen in all kinds of racing. It's happened to Kimi Räikkönen as well in the NASCAR. Although, due to a bit of contact. But let's go back to this battle. Alessandro slightly opening the gap to Gil behind, and now catching up Osh once again. Osh is only a second now to these two behind him. But Sidor into the pits, so he was battling earlier with Corsa, who's still running in P2. And Hladky there with a 10-second lead to Corsa in P2. You can see there, 2 cars behind. I believe that is a few cars further down the order. Is that Scruton? Yes, it is. And a Bodenberger. Both these two on track, battling it out with each other. I think they've both served their mandatory stops. I could be mistaken though. Scruton now trying to defend there. Bodenberger looked to the inside for a late move, but he hasn't got the car alongside enough to do that. Looks like Bourgeois now and Donatas battling this side by side here as we come down this long straight towards the bus stop chicane. The Lexus driver on the inside, can he hold it through the chicane here? Yes, he has. Bourgeois sensibly backing out of that move. We've now got Viken in this battle with Curtin, and they've got Hisley behind in the Porsche, and we know Hisley didn't attend, well, wasn't able to attend the first round, and is now, I believe, trying the Porsche, which is quite a new car to him. It seems to be performing very well here in P10, but this 3-car battle for P8 with Viken in a bit of a sandwich at the moment. And you can see the Astro Racing team, Aston just leading this train. Curtin and Carl Van Hoorn share very similar liveries, so make sure not to get them confused. Yeah, but that is the Porsche of Hisley now into the pits. Luke Viken's not got anyone to worry about behind him, so he can go for this move on Curtin. He's only got Curtin to focus on as we come into turn 1 now. Just 34 minutes left of the race. We've got a number of drivers into the pits, and Viken's now going to have the slipstream. How quickly is he going to close in? We know the McLaren's not the best on top end, but will the slipstream help? He's closed in the gap massively. Spit of flames there from the Aston of Curtin, but Viken not able to get that move done. And it's slightly wide there for Curtin. Can Viken capitalise on this? No, I think he's just biding his time here. He's playing the patient game, and a very late apex there for Viken. Exactly what you want to be doing to get this run coming down to this right-hander. But I think the undercut's going to be very, very strong for Viken. Now looks like as we go to the battle for P5, that's Cosford and Brownhill very close to each other. Cosford is close to Wittwood there in P4. Both these drivers from Ballas eSports, so they may not want to be holding up each other as we come down the straights. Could there be team orders between these two? I know there aren't any teams, pardon me, in this championship. Or is Wittwood going to want to hold on here to P4? Cosford definitely has to worry about Brownhill behind him. That last lap Brownhill was almost a second quicker. And oh, a bit of a mistake there for Wittwood. Cosford had to look up the inside, couldn't get the move done. And we've seen a few drivers making mistakes there into that corner. It seems to be quite difficult with a few drivers washing wide ever so slightly, and as soon as you get onto those marbles, you do lose quite a bit of grip. And Brownhill there just trying to show himself in the rearview mirrors of Cosford, keeping that pressure on to both of these Ballas eSports drivers. Fortunately, we've got Aleman retiring from the race. Tamas is still in the pits, so he's pretty much retired the car as well. Brownhill into the pits now. This is going to be very crucial for him if he gets his stop perfect, because he's in a good opportunity for an undercut here. And I'm sure Cosford and Whitfield are going to be trying to work together to not lose any time to Brownhill and avoid that undercut that he's attempting. But currently these two seem to be the closest on track. Brownhill, Viken and Corsa into the pits. What's happened to Brownhill? Oh no, that would be their pit stops, their pit boxes, sorry, in different places. I thought Brownhill had a bit of a blunder in the pit stops, but he seems to be moving now. There we go. He's got going. And the question is, when will Whitfield and Cosford jump into the pits? Looks like Gill and Hisley in P12 and P13. Oh, we've got a huge battle going on here. I believe all these drivers have pitted. Alessandro there, P12, Gill P13, Hisley P14. All battling it out on track. Viken has also served his mandatory stop, and he's well ahead, so he won't have to worry. But this is the battle we're watching. That's Ryan Gill now losing the position, I think, to Hisley. They're going to be side by side now, coming down this long straight. We know the Porsche's got a bit of a buff in the last update with straight line speed, but will he be able to hold it? No, Ryan Gill round the outside there. What a move from Ryan Gill, but he's lost it on the exit. Can Hisley get the move back? Yes, he has. He's got the position back, and what a move there from, firstly, Ryan Gill to do it around the outside, and then Hisley to get that position back. And astonishing racing from the both of those two, as Hisley now defends. From the McLaren driver just behind. And it looks like Brownhill has actually picked up a stop go 30 for that would be speeding in the pits. Ivanov with the fastest lap of the race now. But Brownhill, that's going to be a massive disappointment for him. The undercut that he was hoping to put him in front of Whitfield and Cosford is now going to cost him massively. And we've also got this battle still ravaging on between Corsell and Sidor, both within a few tenths of each other at the moment. We've got that in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Gill losing a lot of time to the Porsche of Hisley there. That's Curtin just moving out the way. I believe he is a lap down. You see that McLaren bouncing over those curves, not liking it at all. And I think that's where he's losing most of his time here to Hisley. Let's bring up the comparisons in a second, but we'll go on board here with both these two. And that's Gil just getting past Curtin there. You can see how close here Corsa is in the Bentley to Sidor. He got past earlier. Oh, that's Ivanov in the background, just tagging the wall out of the final corner. But as I was saying, Corsa got past Sidor earlier on in this race, but he seems to have lost it in the pit stops. Aleman saying tyres were done after 3 laps. Yeah, that's the problem with the track temp being so high. They may have come back to you, but still watching this battle. Oh, a huge mistake there for Ryan Gill. Out of turn 1. He's got a bit too loose, and he's lost a number of positions here. He's got it spun around the right way, but that's going to be some severe damage there for Gill. And down into P15 he goes. He's almost, I think that's that Lamborghini's not on the same lap as him, so he should be okay for P15. The next car down is Bourgeois. He's got quite a gap there to P16 Bourgeois, so he should be okay. But we'll go down to this battle, Bourgeois and Brownhill. Brownhill after his stop go 30, and I believe he has served it. Yes, he has. And he's all the way down in P17. I'm sure Stuart, his supporter, is going to be a bit disappointed with that, but you can see how close these two are. Let's bring them up on the main screen here. Looks like that is Sidor and Corsell. Oh, what's happened here? Corsell has lost the car. Looks like they've come to contact with each other. Corsell's not going to be happy with that at all. Sidor, maybe there was contact. Sidor is going to hold on to second place. It's really unfortunate for Corsair. He's running in such a good position. But let's see if we can have a look at what happened in a moment. Oh, so we've seen what happened. We'll quickly bring it up in a moment. But currently Sidor has got a second now to McGee, who I believe has pitted, if I'm not mistaken, is now in P3, started in P9, up 6 positions. Yes, he definitely has pitted here. So McGee looking strong for a podium position on his first race back here with the SimZone. Brownhill in P17 looking for a move on Bourgeois. It looks like they've had a coming together, these two. Brownhill, no, there doesn't seem to be any damage. I think Bourgeois may have lost the car on his own. which is unfortunate, but let's see. Let's have a quick look at the incident and what happened to Corsa earlier on. So here we go. Corsa there. You can see how much he's gaining, and then drops it onto the curb, loses the rear end of the car. Luckily, Sidor didn't get taken out, but that's really unfortunate for Corsa. Lost it on his own, and I'm thankful that there was no incident between the two. But a huge mistake there from Corsa. But let's have a look at any other battles on the field. Pit window is about to close. Barrett into the pits now. I believe that might be his second pit stop for Barrett. Oh, what's happened to Valenta here? Seems to be okay. There was a yellow flag for him. Belez has lost the car somewhere. Just going a bit wide, picking up some dirt. But Barrett, yeah, in the pits for his second pit stop, so he's maybe picked up some damage. And we go to the battle for P10, Alessandro and Viken. Viken starting in P19 has made up 10 positions, and yes, he served his mandatory pit stop as well. But definitely not the most positions gained so far in this race. We've had Carver and Hoorn with 13 positions gained. It looks like, oh, I didn't quite catch that, McGee into P2. So McGee starting down in P9 is up 7 positions. And not lapping as quick as Ladke in P1, but he's lapping quicker than Sidor. And he's now up to P2. Looks like Sidor doesn't have a response. He's losing time corner after corner here to McGee. We switch back to the battle between Viken and Alessandro. These two within a few tenths of each other. Viken doesn't seem to be able to pull away here. Alessandro's really putting on the pressure. Now we'll go on board with the Honda of Alessandro. Just see here how close he is. Is he going to eye up a move into the final corner? Seems like the Honda has got a bit of understeer compared to the McLaren in front. You can see there, really struggling to get the car turned in. But he's going to have the slipstream now coming into turn 1. I don't think he's close enough to go for this move. He's still going to stay right behind Viken, directly in his rearview mirror. Even though I don't think you can see out the back of that McLaren. He's got wing mirrors to do so. And they're going to be side by side now. The Honda's got the better straight line speed than the McLaren, and I think he's going to have this move done. Very well done there, even before the braking zone. He gets that move done. A huge slide though for Alessandro, and almost losing the car once more. But he's held that together nicely. Did gain a bit of time. But I don't think the stewards will think anything of it. So Alessandro moves up into P9 then. On the field, a bit spread out now. We have Irfan closing onto the back of Corsair actually. That last lap, Irfan was a second quicker. Not as they cross the line now, 7/10ths quicker. So after that mistake from Corsair, he's picked up some damage. And we'll get a quick comparison in terms of sector times between these two. Just to see where Corsair's losing all that time. So here we go, Sector 1. Seems to be quite even for the both of them, but Sector 2 is really where Irfan is gaining most of the time. Over 3/10ths there. Or just under 3/10ths even. He's gaining in Sector 2, at least for that last lap. Actually, yeah, just 3/10ths for that last lap. And if I'm reading that right... sorry, it wasn't 7/10ths, it was... actually, yes, the gap between those two, that last lap, was 7/10ths, so it's quite interesting that their sector times are pretty even, apart from Sector 2. But it could have been the lap before that's registering, I'm not too sure. But all we know that is that Irfan is lapping much quicker than Corsair. Look at the gap now, it's almost under a second. Irfan is reeling him in every single lap, and I'm sure Corsair is going to be looking at that race timer and wanting this race to end as soon as possible. King McGee in P2 has opened about a 4-second gap to Sidor behind him. In front now, we know the Honda's really quick on the straight. Look at the gap. It's come down from 8/10ths to 3/10ths just alone on that straight. But through the bus stops seems to be where Irfan's losing a bit of time. May have been a bit too hot into the bus stop with having all that extra speed due to the slipstream. Irfan, look at this, he's so close. He just needs to find an opportunity. He needs to find that opening to try and get past here. And it's definitely going to be into the heavy braking zones. Turn 1 is an option. We haven't really seen it pay off well this race so far. And it looks like that is Irfan up into P6. He's got the move done there on Corsair. And seemingly he's going to be able to pull away now. Don't think there's going to be any problems whatsoever for Irfan here. Now looking further down, the two Assetto Racing drivers, Carl Van Hoorn and Tom Curtin, have found each other on the track. Just 1.5 seconds separating both these two drivers. They have been very similar on pace last season, and even in the qualifying session they always seem to be only a few tenths apart. But that last lap, Carl Van Hoorn 7 tenths slower. Tom Curtin is closing in the gap, and he's got 11 minutes, plenty of time to get this overtake done. So we'll keep an eye on these two. And we'll switch to the race leader, who we really haven't talked about much apart from the opening lap. Hladky, luckily, didn't get tangled up when I think Tamas and Ivanov made it 3 wide there into the bus stop on lap 1, which wasn't the smartest thing, I'll be honest. But luckily he didn't get caught up in that. I think may have sustained a slight bit of damage, but it hasn't hindered him at all. He's got a 15-second lead to McGee in P2, and he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's also now got the best lap of a 1:44.485. TFJ in the comments there showing his support for Carl Van Hoorn. Curtin now within a second to Carl Van Hoorn there. Looks like it's just a matter of time before Curtin catches up and makes that move. We'll have a look at these two now. See there, that's the onboard of Curtin. And we're also trackside with these two as well. See how smooth Curtin is on the steering. The Aston, I would say, is one of the best cars for this track, but it is quite easy to drive and quite consistent as well. Not much can go wrong when you're in the Aston. The gap's now 1.3 between the two, so it has increased ever so slightly. I think Carl Van Hoorn has responded to that pressure, and he's picked up the pace, but he needs to be careful. We've seen a few drivers over driving. It's so easy to do, especially when you see the car behind you inching closer and closer every single lap. But Carl Van Hoorn just needs to keep his head cool. And for Tom Curtin, look at that exit. He's got out of turn 1. He's having a look now here on Carl Van Hoorn. He's going to have the slipstream. This is going to be crucial. He needs to keep his foot pinned if he wants to get this move done into the bus stop chicane. But no, he's pulled out the slipstream there for some reason. He's back in it now, and I don't think he's going to be close enough into the braking zone for the bus stop. But Curtin playing it safe. I'm sure both these two drivers are going to be on the same, if not similar, setups. So they will be pretty evenly matched, and not just in terms of setup, in skill as well, like I mentioned earlier. can see the Hoorn seems to be trail braking a bit more into the corners. And that's going to help, but I don't think he's got the rear in control at the moment. He's sliding on exit ever so slightly. And Hoorn has opened up the gap once more there. Curtin wide through the third to last corner. And Darth Kamal there in the comments showing the support for Sidor, who is currently in P3. And we've also got Donna in the comments showing a support for Nino Tobin. Nino has had quite a good performance so far, likewise has Sidor, but we're currently focused on this battle. Curtin still hasn't been able to get past, and time is running out. If he wants to get this move done, he's going to have to do it very soon. I think we'll just go back trackside with these two, and there was a mistake there from Hoorn coming through the bus stop. Curtin with no room to capitalise on that has had to back out, and Hoorn is really feeling the pressure now for sure. But let's have a look at Nino Tobin. He's caught up to the back of Corsa. We hear the gap between these two just 4 tenths, 3 tenths. And Corsa, you can tell, has been struggling ever since he made that mistake. Coming up towards turn 2 and 3 is where we saw him get loose over that curb, which I think he's not. He's staying clear of now. Well clear of, and Nino Tobin has got that move done well before the braking zone of the bus stop chicane, and seemingly he's going to be able to pull away. Then Bourgeois and Gill in P16 and P17 are very close on track. Gill, we saw earlier, with a mistake on the exit of turn 1, picked up some damage. He dropped a number of positions, but I'm sure P16 he's going to be quite happy with after starting in the pit lane. And Curtin and Hoorn, you can see how close they are here. So close, and Curtin seems to have a better line through the bus stop chicane, at least on exit, but he just can't get that move done. You can see here Gill is having to defend for his life against Bourgeois. Well, just under 4 minutes left of this race. Look how close there the Ferrari of Bourgeois is to Gill. We're going to have to go back trackside with these two. Bourgeois, oh look at this, they're side drafting each other. Bourgeois has to be later on the brakes if he wants to get this move done, but no, Gill's held it there into the bus stop chicane, and he holds on to P16. Brilliant racing from both of these two, but we've got so many battles going on track. It's so hard to keep track, even though we've got the ability to see 2 battles at once. We still have so many battles going on out on track here, and I think we go back to this battle. Look at this train. These two, Gill and Bourgeois, are going to have to move out the way. They're being given the blue flag, but they're also in a battle, so it's going to be quite difficult for them to give up the position. Bourgeois is not going to want to do it, and we've got a battle in the background there as well. That's Brownhill, I think. No, sorry, that's P2. That's McGee, but he seems to be okay. He's got Sidor 9 seconds behind him, so nothing really going on there. But the other battle that's going on in this pack, we've got Donatas here in the Lexus, defending from Ivanov, slightly wide there from Donatas. A big slide from Ivanov, but he hasn't lost too much time and he's looking to the inside here, coming down towards turn 1. Can he get this move done? He's later on the brakes. Has he kept it within the track limits? He's held it together. And Donatas looking for that switchback. They're still side by side, these two. You know how quick the Lexus is on the straights. And Ivanov hasn't been able to make that stick, so he's back down to P19. Is Ivanov, and you can see just up ahead. Looks like Bourgeois has got that move done on Gil. And Ivanov now pulling up to the inside. Had to back out of that move. Quite a late look to the inside for Ivanov. But this isn't the result he's going to be wanting at all. We do have a drop around. So that will play into effect for Ivanov. P19, I'm sure, isn't going to be, or is going to be his worst finish of this season. He's a top class driver, is Ivanov, but he's really looking for this move, and he's trying everything he can, and he needs to be doing that, because with just 1 minute left in this race, he needs to be going for some risks now if he wants to get this move done. His position, Donatas though doing a great job of defending. It's hard to get past a car as big as the Lexus, and he seems to be pushing a bit too much, but it's now a 4-car battle for P16. Bourgeois leading this pack, followed by Gil, then Donatas, Kosinskis, and Ivanov in P19. He's really pushing and putting a lot of pressure onto Kosinskis there. A slight mistake, I think, for the Lexus driver through that final corner, but he's held it together. And it looks like Curtin hasn't been able to get that move done on Van Hoorn. He's now dropped back, but where is our race leader? Hladky here is coming through the bus stop chicane, but we have to switch back to this battle. Bourgeois checked out slightly there. He's got a gap to these three behind. And look at this, the closing speed of the Lexus and the Aston behind. The damage that Gil is carrying is not going to play in his favour at all. Bouncing over that curb, and he's lost 2 positions there, 1 corner. A huge mistake there for the Lexus driver of Kosinskis, and he's lost 2 positions as well. He's down to P19, and really unfortunate for Kosinskis. One slight mistake we can see can cost you a number of positions, but our race leader Hladky is coming up towards the final few corners, and we'll stick with him as he now approaches the penultimate corner here. He's led the race start to finish, hasn't put a foot wrong, and this is what you need: consistency to be able to win these championships. And he's going to cross the line here in P1 for Hladky. What an outstanding dominant performance there from him. And second is going to be McGee, who started down in P9, gained 7 positions, also hasn't made any mistakes, and he's going to cross the line in P2. What a result there, flashing lights there from him as well. And that's McGee in P2. Sidor is going to cross the line in P3. Unfortunately, could have held on to P2, I think, but started at P5 and did make up 2 positions, so it's a positive result there for Sidor. Vitvoet is going to finish in P4. Cosford is just about going to hold on here to P5, with Irfan finishing in P6. Tobin there in the background finishing in P7. Orcel in P6. I'm sure he's not going to be happy with himself. Alessandro there is going to finish in P9. Viken just behind in P10. And that's pretty much your top 10 of this race. And we'll see if we can catch Hisley crossing across the line. We'll see if we can get some of the drivers in for an interview. And a bit of showboating there. Oh, a very nice drift from Hisley. He's very happy with that result. Carl Van Hoorn's going to hold on then to P12, and Curtin is going to hold on to P13. But we'll switch to the interviews here very shortly. Here we go. We'll see if we can get the interviews up in a second. We'll just wait for the drivers, obviously, to return their cars back to the garage. But we've got some comments coming in. Donna really showing his support for Tobin, saying, Tobin, let's go. Stuart there saying, great racing. TFJ saying, nice racing, lots of action. Dart saying, great race and commentary. Yeah, thank you for that. But definitely some great racing across the field. Had a few incidents, unfortunately, but that's always the case in racing. Now just bear with us while we wait for the drivers to join the interview waiting room, if they are up for an interview, of course. Looks like the first one in is Lee here. What an outstanding race from you. Started further down the grid and made your way up into P2. Obviously missing the first round, but it doesn't matter. There is a drop round, so you're still well within contention for the championship. How are you feeling after that race?
Do you want to know something? I'm absolutely shocked. I've had no practice, brand new setup, and I've just gone and done that.
Yeah, great performance. I think the last time you raced with us may have even been at Watkins, Glen? I can't quite remember. I think it was a one-off event.
Was that when I ended up in the wall at the bus stop? I think it was, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure. I think so. But bettering your performance this time around, and P2 is going to be a good haul of points. Now going into round 3, Misano, how do you feel about that track?
I love Misano. It's quick, it's bendy, it's a track suited for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, great. We hope to see you back on the podium and in for another good result for the next round.
Yes, hopefully I'll be back here talking to you again.
Yeah, let's hope. But thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for hosting it. I'll see you all again.
There we have it. That was Lee. We've got Hladky now into the booth with us. A dominant victory this time around for you. And I don't think there's going to be much to say. We saw you going 3 wide there with, I think that was Ivanov and Tamas into the bus-stop chicane. Luckily you got out of that unscathed and then pulled away. What did you make of that incident?
Yeah, basically the incident was very weird. I didn't know the guy was going for an overtake for me. It's kinda unreal to go 3 wide into the bus stop when barely 2 cars can fit there, but whatever. The guy on the outside just kinda turned into me, and I had just nowhere to go, you know, because I was in the sandwich of the 2 cars, so I had nothing to do there. If not the Audi on the east side, I would get spun out because he kinda held me. So
yeah, luckily
that was pretty lucky, but
yeah, very lucky.
It was just was pretty boring for me. I had a chat with my viewers basically, but
yeah,
that's all. My pace was, I think, great. I'm pretty satisfied with my consistency. You know, I was doing it. I was racing pretty like calmly after that incident. I just know there's no need to push.
Yeah, definitely. Just keep it consistent and not make any mistakes. but that's going to be some good points for you now coming into round 3. And round 3 bring Mizano. How are you feeling going into the next round?
Mizano, that's actually a tough one. I don't think I raced in this car on this track, so yeah. I'm looking forward to the race, and we'll see what I can do. Obviously, I'll try to do my best and give up the good form and finish at the podium.
Yep, well, we hope to see you back on the podium once again in round 3. And once again, congratulations on the win, and have a good evening. We hope to see you next round.
Thank you so much, and see you.
There we go, the last driver then, Sidor. We've got Sidor in the commentary booth with us now. A much better race for you this time around, finishing in P3, the final podium spot. Starting P5, I think. How are you feeling now after that race? I think you might have your... There we go.
Yeah. Hello everyone. I feel great because I'm a little bit disappointed in my pace, but with a little bit of luck at the start of the race, I'm pretty satisfied with the result.
Yeah, it's good to hear, and obviously much better than round 1.
Yes, yes.
So I'm sure you're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, round 1 was a disaster for me.
Yeah, tricky conditions as well, but now going into round 3, we've got Mizano, and not the easiest of tracks, especially with track limits. How are you feeling going into the next round?
Misano is one of my favorite tracks, and I hope that I can put a similar result or even better.
Yeah, we hope so too. So once again, good points for you, and congratulations. And we hope to see you in the next round.
Thank you very much. See you next week.
And there we have it. That's your interview for the top 3. And that's pretty much it from us tonight here at the SimZone. We'll be back live on Sunday for the console GT3 Championship, where we have 3 splits, 3 tiers, 3 divisions, whatever you like to call it. And we will be opening up a 4th very soon. So stay tuned for that. But until then, have a great night and have a great weekend.